This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, everybody. This is SamHabiel, and this time I'm presenting. As a representative of YottaDB, and I'll be talking about the YottaDB management GUI. So as a background, oops. Now I don't know what the thing did. Here we go. As a background, we'll skip the slide. Skip this. As a background, GTM, which is our parent code base, never really had a GUI, and that was always a problem for getting a new user started. And in any case, there are many things that are in GTM that are hard to kind of figure out. So our YottaDB, hard to figure out, and I'll give you some examples of like how do you turn on a journal, how do you change a key size, how much free space do you have, what if you're running out. All of these things are stuff that a GUI can help you with. And we've added a lot of functionality over the last year. So let me show you. So, okay, here's a screenshot of the GUI. This is what it looks like. And I will be giving you a live demo at the end of this. So this screenshot is somewhat dated, but because dated as in we took it a few months ago, but we have a lot more features now. But the screenshot, I think, is by and large still the same. I mean, the main things are still the same. So here are all the things that we have implemented since the last VistA community meeting. So during the last VistA community meeting, we were working on doing a global viewer that wasn't finished by then. It was very much in progress, and now it's done. We've added a filter to the lock manager so that you can, if you have lots of locks, you could find the lock you're interested in. We've added a routine viewer, and the special feature about this routine viewer is it would let you even view routines that are in compiled Linux objects, which are the SO files. So for example, GDE is not available. The source code is not usually installed. It's an M program, but you could actually see it in the GUI. We've made a difference between read-only mode and read-write mode, and that's the next one was we added documentation for setting this up as a proxy on Apache, and the Nginx setup is somewhat similar. We've implemented mupip reorg, integ, and backup. We now have a display of journal files and their linkages. We have the ability to run mupip reorg, integ, and backup in the background. We've added the ability for you to switch a journal file. We've added a little page that will give you a global view of global mappings. We now better display the replication instance and status. We have a button that lets you copy things to the clipboard. We implemented user and login. We have a list of globals, including, I'll show you, zombie globals. And I'll ask, what's the zombie global? Well, I'll show you later. We can now size all the globals, and you can see which globals are, how big they are. In the global display, we have JSON $H detection. We've added an Octo GUI. An Octo is our SQL layer. We have a journal size meter. We've added a preferences dialog for you to change. Let's see. Let's say if you wanted to some settings, we have various settings throughout the GUI, but one setting that people asked about is I want I want my databases to change color when they get to a certain size. And it used to be like set to, for example, for some database at 90%. Now you could set a specific percentage. And we've added the ability to cut. Yeah, I think that's part of the same thing. So now let's do a demo. So stop sharing, and okay, I see there's a comment. Check. Oh, that's Art says hello everyone. Okay. So now I'm going to share my web browser. You guys see my web browser?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm just refreshing, and this is actually on the internet right now, and if you want to log in, have fun. So you can go there. Password is admin. So as you could have seen from the slides, there was so much functionality, so it's kind of hard to go all over everything. So I will show you a few things, and if you have questions about things we could try, we'll go ahead and try them. So you usually get various indicators whether something is healthy and journals if it has issues, and then there's the replication setup. And the first thing you get after this is a detailed listing of the storage, and here we've reached 73%, and that's considered to be a low condition. And then down here you get 3 columns, one for database, one for journaling, and one for replication. And you get to look and see if the database is healthy and what the journaling status is. Now, if there's a problem with a specific database, what will happen is this will show up either as yellow or red. And here the journal, I did this yesterday so that I could show you that I turned off journaling on this one so that it will show up in yellow. Now let me show you some of the features which I think are really, really cool. So the use space is 99.9%, but this database extends automatically. So this is not really a true measure of the database because it's gonna extend. Over here in the journal, this is the journal switch limit, and tells you about the file, and you can click on show files, and it shows you. This is very much a GTM YottaDB thing. It shows you that with what is your current journal files, and if you have older journal files, and if they're chained together. So we have a 4 GB limit on journal files, and if you get to 4 GB, we have to switch a journal file, and it will tell you basically this is how far you reach, how far you are in a journal from 4 GB. And also you can switch it manually, which is what happened here in this case. It didn't switch automatically because it did not reach 4 GB. But basically we're showing you that all of these journals are linked together. One feature I really like is you get a list of globals, and I want to show you the zombie global. And Nancy, you really like that feature.
Is that because I'm a zombie?
Yes, you're part of the undead. So lexicon here is a zombie global. So what is a zombie global? I have to say I came up with the terminology. A zombie global is a global which actually exists in the actual database file, but it's not mapped to it. Here's the trick. I actually created a new region called Lex and mapped the Lex region away from it. So if I hit compute size, And this is a wraparound mupip size, and you run it. And you could see it gives you the size of each global, how much data it consumes. And Lex, I know, is pretty big. It's actually 1 gigabyte. And so, but I moved it away, and now it's Zombie. It's what, when you run the database, it actually doesn't get it from the default region, it gets it from the Lex region.
It gets it from the what?
Lex region. So I'll show you there's a Lex region. So close this. Now click on Lex and look at globals. There's only one, and it's right there.
I'm still not following. You made another. Did you make another section for the
Yes,
zombie?
I made another region and I mapped LEX to it.
Oh, region. Okay, that's what you said. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So the linkage is messed up? Is it the idea?
It kind of is. This is something, I know you're familiar with cache. This is not. So yeah, there's a similar concept in cache. Let me explain it. So in cache, you can map a global to another namespace. Are you familiar with that?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, however, you mapping a global to another namespace does not remove the data from the original namespace. The data is still there. It's just that
Right.
it's inactive. Thus,
It'll
zombie.
start some of those new operations will grow in the other place.
Yeah, you have to, in cache, what you would do is you would use use a merge with an extended syntax in order to move the global from one namespace to another. This is pretty much the same thing.
Ah, okay, cool.
Okay. There's some statistics by region. Now there's nothing fantastic here, but if you go to default, you go to stats, now you can see sets and kills and gets and whatnot. Let me show you routine viewer. I don't think so. If you wanted to, for example, look at XUS, here it is. You click on it, open, and here it is. And you could jump to a specific label if you want. Up is down here. Let's see, Octo is a big new feature. We've spent a lot of time on this. So the Octo is our SQL engine. And so you can go to tables and let's find the new person table. This is a lot of files here. They're all the VistA files. L, M, new person.
There you go.
So I can drag new person, hold the control button. It gives me a help when you're dragging. This is a very cool feature. So keep holding control, and now you get an ability to select, insert, update. So you can say select, and it gives you a list of fields to select from. So you say, I want the name, I want the city, state, zip code. Hit paste. So then it does select name, city, state, zip code. Now you press Control Enter, and it runs the query.
That is very cool.
That is very
I mean,
Nice.
you don't even have to know how to make the proper queries. You'll do it for us.
So I'll do an integrity check. So you know mupip integ. So let's pick default. We'll tell it to do a fast one because we don't have all day. Although this one will finish. It's not that big of a database. It's only 4 gigabytes. So hit OK. And then it will give you the summary. And here's the copy to clipboard button. And let's see, so that's an int tag, and here is, let's see if we could do backup. So we have a way to select a path. So if you want to go, I think I have under home, Vihu, I think I have a backup folder. So it is. And tells you what to do with the existing backup files. So it's I'll backup the default region. And I don't want any journal files in, I don't want to do anything with the journal files. And hit OK. Well, it's taking some time, more than I expected, but that's good.
So when it's done, it'll have a backup of a mumps.dat or whatever.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
exactly what
do
it
that,
did.
right?
It's telling you now what happened.
So that's good because every time I tried to do it when I was a journal file, I got a big mess. So this is great.
So let's see. So at this point, let's see. How are we doing on time? I just need to see how many slides I have left after this. I only have 2 slides after this. So before I go to the 2 slides, let me ask, is there anything you guys want to look at in particular? We can try anything. And I do have to warn everybody, this software is, we've developed it, we've tested it, but there are probably many bugs because it's still, it's not very, very well tested.
Is replication ready to go?
Replication is something up front. No, it's not. What we do now is we display the status and an instance name. And if you have a dangerous condition, but we don't, we would, replication is unfortunately quite hard, and we have to think about how to implement it. So, yeah. But it's something we're thinking about implementing. So but the answer is no, not really. So we only display the status, right?
Okay. Slide down again so I can see what else you got there. Okay.
A bunch of tabs along the top as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what you can do on the tabs is you could have a global. So it's a VA 200:0, and then you could open the routine XUS, which does use the VA of sub 200, and you could look between the tabs, and you could have Octo open, and you could do like select name from new, select new person ID, comma name from new person. There you are.
So go back. Where were all those P's and everything that were there? Are they
P's where?
Go back. And back again. Those P2, P3.
Oh yes. Okay, these are the piece numbers. So by default, you put we piece it out for you. We can suppress the piecing by selecting this. Now it doesn't piece it out for you.
Oh, okay. Now, tell me how you install it.
That's my next slide. Okay, let's go. I'll do that.
A quick question.
Greg was asking something?
Yeah. Have you picked up any of the ideas from VPE's global lister or whatnot to drill into the dictionary or not? You're just leaving that alone, right?
Yeah, so here's the trick. This is not a VistA product. So when we were developing this, I showed the developer, whose name is Steph. He works with us. He's based out of the Netherlands, and I showed him VPE as kind of a model of what this should look like. So you're absolutely right that this was kind of influenced by VPE, but a lot of VPE stuff is VistA specific, like mapping global to file man. And
Right.
this is just an M implementation thing, so it doesn't know about file.
Right, right. Although you could show a mapping from there to your SQL.
That's possible. That's possible. Yeah.
Okay.
So there are many features. Oh, this is, by the way, a permalink. So you could take this and share it with somebody. You say that's the global, and you can paste it in. It will go to that global. Well, anybody, any other demo, anything else that you guys want to see? There's so much stuff to see here. I mean, it's kind of endless.
Well, you got loads of time, Sam.
I don't have loads of time. That's why I'm asking you if you guys want to see anything. If not, it's okay. We'll just get more coffee.
You got till 1:30.
Okay, fair enough. There's a lot to show. I mean, if anybody wants any ideas of things to see, I'm happy. Otherwise, we'll just go talk about installation.
Well,
a question. I'm not that familiar with YottaDB in terms of running it or anything like that at all. But yeah, this has really got me super interested. How much of management of my YottaDB install can I do from here and not really have to be a Linux whiz and that sort of thing? I mean, I need to know a little bit, obviously, to understand some of the.
Well, I think that's a great question, Greg. So let me tell you this. I mean, in terms of like product management, we've been trying to get to a place where we think that all the novice users of YottaDB will only need to use this and not go to the command line. However, I have to admit, so one thing, we don't have a routine editor here. We don't have a way for you to set global data, and we don't have a command line interpreter. So these things, obviously, you'll still need to access the command line to do. So it's kind of a mixed bag, and we kind of need the users to tell us what is missing from here in order for us to complete it. Because at this point, we're kind of guessing what people will want, not that we actually know 100% what people want.
Well, for me, I mean, obviously for me, I'm a VPE person, and this would just allow me to install it, keep it running without having to really know my syntax and the command line that much. And I could keep the basic system running and make sure it's all hung together well and everything. And then I just go off and run lumps the way I normally do, right? I mean, that's.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the objective, is to make it approachable to new users. And again, we're still at the beginning phase of being able to have all the features in it that users will want. And I mean, you may already know me, kind of my personality from like our AI discussion. I keep getting a lot of features getting suggested as nobody's going to use that. We're wasting our time. Well, we need to know from users what our user actually going to use.
I mean, I never use the cache tool to look at the code or the globals or anything like that because I'm old school. But I mean, even then, I find it a little cumbersome to do, through the management window and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I wouldn't spend a whole ton of time on that. I mean, I think it's just there to quick reference the sort of thing. But the fact is, we all work, in a different environment day to day.
Yeah.
Well, it gives you something open source, Greg, that you can give your students and all that. Trying to get cache.
Yeah. Because my students, after they get done, I have a little test database they play with, but I don't let them have access to it for a little while. So they got another class coming behind them and that sort of thing. And I've had several ask me over the years, where do I go get something to install and play? And I could And conceivably, as I learn more about this, I could just say, hey, go right here. This will install easily. You can run it. You know.
Yep.
Right.
So that's a good segue for me to move to my rest of my presentation, which is how to find.
Also, just to mention that also, the Office of the National Coordinator started out using cache and then had the whole thing converted over to GTM because, you know, they couldn't redistribute the stuff. And it was a big problem.
Yeah.
Oh, well, shouldn't have done that. It's okay. We'll jump. Okay. So Greg, this has a whole VistA environment in it. You just take this and go to port 8089 and you'll get to the YottaDB GUI. And in fact, you know this instance, what I've been showing you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, you couldn't see it. What I just showed you is exactly what this is. I just ran this.
So I want to know how to get it onto one of my servers that has an instance, VistA instance on it, so that I can remotely access it.
That's the next thing is if you have an existing YottaDB install. So first thing is you'll need the YottaDB install script, and we now package it in YottaDB disk, but it wasn't there by default. So you may need to install a newer version of YottaDB. But once you have it, all you have to do is do this, YottaDB install --GUI --plugins only. Then you need to add these two to your YottaDB routines or GTM routines. For you, GTM routines.
I don't think your screen's changing.
It's not?
No, it's
oh, another Windows on top. Sorry, yeah, it's saying something. Let me see. Do you see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the first one, is that YottaDB install --GUI. Then you need to run this, which is YottaDB. You need to add these two to YottaDB routines, or for you, you could use GTM. It works with GTM. And then run this command, and you're set. That's it.
All right. I'm going to try it.
I have a question. The stuff with the VA releases, the platinums, that are, or what are actually not that, but the iris.dats that are up on the site.
Yeah.
Is there any way? Is there any way to have those somehow run something that'll extract those and make a similar thing for YottaDB? Are there too many differences? Are there?
So the answer is no. I'll stop sharing this screen now. We're transitioning, so I'll stop sharing this, and I'll just share my whole screen.
That could be crazy awesome if every month you have this updated.
It's very possible, and if Nancy's willing to do some extra lines in her Vivian work, we can do it every month. So
and the VA would
under Docker VistA. So I've been maintaining this now. I took it over from Christopher Edwards, been maintaining it for the last few years. Where is the FOIA? Do I have a reference for how to do FOIA? I don't, but all right. I'll just let you know. You can use this repo. You add a little flag to build the FOIA VistA. It's not this, but it's close. And then
you're not saying again, Sam.
Again, boy, why do I do this the whole time? I keep not sharing. I thought I'd hit share. All right, here. You see it? So back here. So this website is worldvista/docker github.com/worldvista/dockervista. So where in that over here, you could use this code to build Docker images, and the Docker images will get pushed to this place over here, worldvista/FoyaVista. And right now, I believe, I'm trying to think, the last one I did was 3 years ago. So, the thing is, we have to, you asked about the extraction process. Now, Nancy does the extraction for Vivian, but part of that, I occasionally need to use that code, the extracted code, and when I need to use it, I push it up to github.com/worldvista/vista-m, and not the master branch, but the Foya branch. Here it is. And I just pushed the update for July 2023. So this is actually the extract for the Foya for July 2023.
This has the globals and the routines. Is that what you mean?
The globals and the routines. So you could use this to build a VistA instance. The other thing I did from Baska requested it. There's another branch which is very cute. I have a Foya from June 2020 with 1,000 synthetic patients.
Wow.
So.
And I might add, if you listen tomorrow, George will talk about how you can put something synthetic patients in, because he and Sam and others worked on that.
So the answer, Greg, yes, it's doable, and it's definitely doable. It's just a question of like the extra effort to do it.
Yeah, and who would use it? You need to kind of know, like you said, who would use it.
What about your students? I would think they would use it.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking from a, like if you could ask on Hard Hat's community, say, hey, how many of you to refer them to this recording so they can come and see what's here with this GUI, and then just say if it's not sway anybody in their use, and then got me super interested.
Yeah. So just for what's it worth, I asked about people. I asked people. I have somebody funding me to update the Viho instance right now, and I asked back in the day, like for people wanting to fund. I got a few interested notes, but there was nobody really gonna be using it for like work for testing or whatnot that expressed an interest. So it's that kind of thing. I mean, we have to have the interest in order to justify the amount of time to spend on it.
Sure. But it could be, well, okay, so it's the amount of effort to make the extraction process, or just the constant running of it? Because maybe you could just do it like somebody's using it for testing, you could do it, twice a year,
Yeah, twice a year is manageable with twice a year is manageable with no fun. I mean, I think that's possible. That's completely possible.
So,
because
I think Greg.
Yeah, go ahead, Nancy. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking that we could show them how to do it. I mean, it wouldn't have the extra stuff that you do to it, but if we got the globals and the routines, I've got something to install those, a script to install those. I could modify it so we could do it with this.
Yeah.
And so if you want to spend some time, Greg, I think we can do it.
Well, yeah. First, I need to play with, with YottaDB, and I need to, so I can go back and get one of the older ones that was done, and just grab it and begin to learn from there and play.
So this repo contains information on. I can update this to be like. Because we used to have something called Osera VistA, but that's not really true anymore. So I can modify this to actually like I can make it so that that's actually all it is. It's you build it and then you push it, and I have instructions here on like once you built it and pushed it, how do you push it to Docker? I have to find where is it.
Okay, which repo is this?
This is called World VistA / Docker VistA.
Okay, World VistA / Docker VistA. Okay.
Oh, I can't find it. There's a section here on pushing up to Docker. In any case, this is yeah. So well, all right. Well, that's pretty much all I have. So, any other questions?
Fantastic. Thank you.
No problem.